Hello everyone, this is Tyas Sosen for the Tea Crane. I'm glad to see you here again, and I'm happy to share some more information about tea and tea ceremony with you. In this video I want to talk a bit about the changing of the seasons, because now we've entered the winter season, and as you may have seen already from the previous video, it is slightly different as to the setting in which we host the tea ceremony. With the summer services, I haven't uploaded any videos on the summer service per se. I have uploaded videos of the season in between. In summer, we have the floor brazier on the matting segment that we use to host the tea ceremony on. The floor brazier is the source of heat that boils the water and has the kettle on it with usually charcoal in it, so it's very hot. And in summer in Japan it can get very hot as well, so the floor brazier during the summer period is placed away as far away as possible from the guests so that the heat doesn't necessarily affect them too much. Now, in the previous videos you have seen the floor brazier that I have on the mat, but it's placed centrally in the matting segment that we're using. So this indicates that we're moving closer towards winter. It's getting colder, it's autumn, and we want to gradually create that anticipation for our guests that the seasons are changing and that we're moving towards the sunken hearth, the do. The sunken hearth is what I've used in the previous video for the winter service of ordinary thin tea. This is the most common layout for a tea chamber, where the sunken hearth is placed centrally in the room, and so everyone can enjoy the heat it emits equally. So that is one of the biggest differences there is between summer and winter, where the source of heat is either closer or farther away from the guest. And of course that is done to keep your guests comfortable. You don't want to keep them too hot in summer, and also you don't want to keep the heat away from them, whereas they might enjoy it during winter. These subtle nuances, they've developed over the centuries, and they are still valid present day. Of course, there are many other differences between services that can be hosted. For example, the difference between the thin tea and the thick tea service. I will be releasing the thick tea service in the winter setting next week. You can also create a little bit of anticipation. What is going to be different from the thin tea service? Now, let me give a few hints away. With the thick tea service, the cold water vessel and the tea flask are already in the room when the host enters. Of course, there's also the handling of the sheath in which the tea flask sits, which is something that you don't have in the service for thin tea. But then there are more subtle differences as well. So I might want to talk about those in another video, but I'll already ask you to have a look at them in the next video that I'll be releasing, which is the thick tea service for the winter setting. Let me give you one other difference that I would like to share. There are two types of cold water vessels. One is the cold water vessel with the lid that is lacquered, and one is a cold water vessel with a lid that is in the same material as the body. When the lid of the cold water vessel is lacquered, during a service of tea, we use our silk napkin, this one, we use our silk napkin to cleanse the lid, because of course when we're using charcoal in the sunken hearth, charcoal might split, ash might flow up, and it might land on the lacquer, and the lacquer is quite adhesive, and so a lot of dust can catch onto it, and it also stands out because it's black. So what we want to do is we want to cleanse it off, make sure that there's no dust on it, it's appealing to the eye, but also when we open the lid, make sure that none of the dust gets into the water. Now, with a lid that is the same material as the body, which means it's ceramic, then we don't need to do that, and we just put our fuxia, our silk napkin, away after having cleansed the tea caddy and the tea scoop. This is another difference that comes from the different utensils that we're using, and so there are many differences. I'll be sharing more videos on these differences as well as I'll just also be sharing more different services for you to watch, and you can discover what the differences are by yourself. And if you would like to learn more, or if you would like to study tea ceremony for yourself, or would like to try the tea ceremony, then always feel free to contact me. There's a possibility to study together online in the limited way that is possible. There's also the possibility to learn here with me in Kyoto, or I could help you with discovering resources to further your study before you get into practice, etc. So don't hesitate to contact me at all. I'm always happy to share more about this culture, this tradition. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next video. If you want to keep updated on updates, new videos, and if you want to stay informed of when the new video comes out, then click the subscribe button and also click the bell. Make sure that you get those updates and that you won't miss anything. And of course, subscribing helps my channel also to grow and to reach more people. I appreciate you being here and you subscribing to my channel, and see you in my next video. Thank you. Stay happy, stay healthy, enjoy the tea.